Well, here they come. So that means the test is going to begin. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Van Toon.
And I'm Wendy Walsh. Welcome to this very special edition of Motor Trend Television.
It's very special because this is the start of the 2002 Sport Utility of the Year Super Test. And Wendy, I have an altimeter with me, and it's reading above 8,000 feet sea level because we're here in the California mountains. But of course, this test is going to take us to Death Valley, where it's over 100 feet below sea level.
And I thought it was short of breath just because the cars are so hot. Stay with us. We got plenty more ahead right here on Motor Trend Television on Speed Vision.
I am really impressed with the variety of vehicles we've set up for our 2002 Sport Utility of the Year test. There are 14 in all, which makes this the biggest SUV test Motor Trend has ever done.
Big and also quite diverse. Everything from the, say, new Jeep Liberty, a kind of heritage-style vehicle, to the Mercedes G500, a unique combination of ultimate luxury and in-your-face ruggedness.
And if you like performance like I do, you're going to want to know about the new supercharged engine in the Nissan Xterra. And how about the most powerful SUV you can buy? The 345 horsepower Cadillac Escalade.
So let's get to it.
We don't list semantics as a test category in selecting Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year, but it's an area that got a lot of attention during our 2002 decision. Today, what exactly is a sport utility? Why do we even worry about the definition? It all has to do with the very success of the category. Huge resources are committed to designing, developing, and marketing these products and competing for consumers' interests. The sport utility is no longer simple. In the search for even greater comfort and refinement, not only are traditional truck-based SUVs taking on more car-like qualities, but many new models that are, in fact, based on existing car platforms are demanding entry into the segment.
Diversity is definitely alive and well in the Sport Utility of the Year field this year. We have prices that range from $19,000 or so on the little Honda CR-V up to $75,000 or so on the Mercedes G-Wagon, a variety of sizes and shapes, certainly powertrains, engines from a willing but small four-cylinder, again in the Honda, through a range of V6s, including a supercharger on one in the Xterra, the very impressive new inline sixes in the GM products, and a clutch of V8s in the Fords and the Mercedes. So there's definitely a size and a shape for everybody.
So, what's happening in the world of SUVs this season? The answer lies in our field of 14 2002 Sport Utility of the Year competitors. Jeep has finally replaced its Cherokee, the first product to be called a sport utility vehicle, with the capable new Liberty. Ford has its first all-new Explorer, the world's best-selling SUV in 11 years, along with a new Mercury Mountaineer. General Motors has completely redesigned its mid-size SUVs in the form of the GMC Envoy and Chevrolet Trailblazer. Mercedes-Benz is finally officially marketing its big box G-Wagon, the G500 in North America, and has also given the M-Class a substantial update, including a new 5-liter V8. From Cadillac, there's the redesigned Escalade with the most powerful V8 in any SUV and controversial art and science styling. Nissan has supercharged the V6 and added a fresh face on its Xterra, our 2000 Sport Utility of the Year. And Land Rover has finally brought its neatly sized Freelander to the U.S.
What we're here to do is to test these vehicles to their maximum capability, which at the very least means all-wheel drive, or the most sophisticated and most advanced four-wheel drive system that any manufacturer might offer.
We have some more or less traditional truck-based vehicles like the GM products. We have trucks that are trying to feel more like cars, which I would say the Ford vehicles are. And we go all the way to the other side where there are really car-based vehicles that have had just enough four-wheel drive capability built into them to, get away with being called sport utilities. It definitely is going to test the definitions of a sport utility. It's forcing us to think a little bit about, well, what really constitutes a sport utility vehicle and what does not. I imagine that trend is only going to get tougher in the future.
In the crossover camp, Honda has introduced an all-new CR-V, a bestseller in its sub-segment. And Toyota's new Highlander arrives as an offshoot of the wonderfully smooth and civilized Camry sedan. The unibody Buick Rendezvous springs from GM's corporate minivan platform, as did Pontiac's Aztek. And to further blur the lines between car, minivan, and off-roader, Isuzu has engineered remarkable style and refinement into its body-on-frame, rodeo-based Axiom. With a full field of competitors set, the question is, which is the most significant new SUV on the market this season? We'll reveal the winner later in the show, but first, several weeks and thousands of miles of tough on- and off-road testing were conducted. That's up next on Motor Trend Television.
What does it take to compete in Motor Trend's Sport Utility of the Year? Well, every vehicle must undergo 10 tough tests as scrutinized by the Motor Trend staff. We look for items such as design, engineering, special features, safety, creature comforts, and value. Then we take them all to our high-speed test track to burn some rubber and then go to the ultimate off-road torture track called Death Valley. Let's check it out.
Our largest ever Sport Utility of the Year field kept the Motor Trend staff focused for weeks. Each SUV contestant covered better than 1,000 miles of highway, traversed several 8,000-foot mountain passes, endured Death Valley's grueling 115-degree heat and tire-shredding rock canyons, and was subjected to a full regimen of performance tests. All this to help you determine which new SUVs to put on your shopping list.
What we're looking to do at Sport Utility of the Year is evaluate vehicles on a broad range of criteria. And there are basically 10 tests that we boil this down to, including performance, overall design, livability, a very critical one. And all of these are intended to give us a sense of what a vehicle is going to be like in normal use. I mean, we're interested in raw performance, for instance, but it's also important to get a sense for how a vehicle is going to translate as the customers are going to use it. So we've established this range of criteria to try to give us a pretty good overall sense of how these vehicles work, what works especially well, what maybe has some liabilities to be conscious of, and that's how we boil down to the ultimate victory.
On-road testing.
This year we had a really interesting driving route that took us from what was over 9,000 feet all the way down to negative 282 feet below sea level. We observe lots of changes in the engine's performance. The higher you get, typically the air gets thinner, performance tends to drop more on some than the others. So that way we were really able to see a variety of environments and how people might actually use these vehicles and how they behave in those environments.
Off-road testing.
One very important part of the testing that we do on Sport Utility of the Year is taking these vehicles off-road. Are these vehicles going to be taken off-road to the extent that we do? Probably not, but that isn't the point. The point is whether these vehicles are legitimate four-wheel drive vehicles or legitimate all-weather vehicles, and we have to essentially take them to the extreme in order to find out if these are pretenders or if these are contenders.
Track testing. As with any vehicle we test, we generate baseline performance numbers at the track. Acceleration, braking, slalom, skid pad.
We test SUVs the same way we test performance cars, mostly to get a baseline number so we can find out where it falls within its peer group. Beyond that, all of our readers are expecting those numbers. They look for them in the tests, and they like to compare apples to apples, and that's how we do it.
And finally, the editors attack each SUV from top to bottom, inside and out, testing and evaluating every aspect of the vehicle.
Surprised you can reach it from back there. I can get in there.
How and how well does everything operate? How's the fit, finish, and quality of the materials used? Is it easy to get in and out of? Is it roomy and comfortable? These are the little things that really add up and are critical elements of the consumer's buying experience. With all the driving, testing, examining, prodding, pondering, questioning, and discussing complete, how did all the impression, numbers, judgments, and arguments settle out?
I use that torque on demand.
We'll have the answer and reveal our Sport Utility of the Year winner soon.
Well, it was the largest field of contenders to date.
And after all the thousands of miles of driving
And weeks of testing, it all boils down to this. One winner of the 2002 Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year.
and that vehicle is the GMC Envoy. Simply put, it is the most significant new SUV for the year 2002.
From the start, we knew the GMC Envoy would be a serious contender for SUV of the Year. Its smartly beveled exterior design, neatly detailed interior, genuine off-road competence, serious cargo and towing capacities, air-suspended ride, innovative entertainment options, and all-new 270-horse power plant had us prepared for a solid showing. And in the final voting, it had the right stuff to win us over. The new Vortec 4200 Inline 6 combines inherently smooth-running characteristics, respectable fuel economy, and an NLEV emissions rating with V8-like horsepower and torque.
One of the best things about the GMC Envoy is what's under the hood. 4.2-liter inline, straight six. This thing pumps out 270 horsepower. It's pretty amazing. The off-the-line acceleration is great, but I'm going through some twisty corners right now. One of the best things is when you get into the throttle, it's got plenty of power to get you headed in the right direction.
Despite an impressive 80.5 cubic feet of max cargo volume and increased package size, the standard wheelbase Envoy jumps to 60 miles per hour in just 8 seconds flat. And the Vortec motor sounds like it's having a ball. One of the important upgrades for O2 is larger brakes. In this case, GMC has gone to 4-wheel ventilated discs for maximum stopping power and long service life. The Envoy's all-new structural foundation is an impressively solid ladder frame with hydroformed side rails linked to 7 welded cross members. The steel body attaches via a dozen specially tuned mounts, which help isolate noise and vibration from the passenger compartment. GM claims this setup is roughly 25% stiffer than competitor vehicles and actually offers rigidity that approaches that of a performance sedan.
The handling in the Envoy is amazing compared to the old Jimmy. Out back, they've got some air coil suspension springs that really help the ride and do not compromise handling at all. Going through a pretty tight corner right now, and it feels pretty stuck to the ground. It's amazing.
Our Envoy boasted an exceptionally smooth ride and high degree of road isolation. Much of the credit goes to its optional air spring rear suspension. Ride height sensors, a compressor, and a body control computer ensure proper headlight aim and body height even when loaded or towing. This suspension system's ability to tame evil washboard roads is truly outstanding. An added benefit of the vehicle's optional air suspension is a rear cargo compartment compressor outlet for pumping up inflatable watercraft or topping low tires with the 22-foot air hose. Also, like other premium vehicles, the Envoy carries a full-size spare tire. While other makers have hung varying levels of retro and heritage styling cues on their latest sport utilities, GMC crafted a fresh, well-proportioned, rugged aesthetic. We like the tasteful application of low-key body color cladding, the vertical style headlamps, standard fog lights, restrained use of bright trim, and muscular wheel arches.
And inside, the Envoy is a fine luxury vehicle with excellent ride qualities, great leather seats, but it also delivers a lot of high technology. There's OnStar, which is something good to have when you may get in the outback and need a little assistance, or if you just want to make dinner reservations. OnStar will take care of you. There's an optional DVD player built into the ceiling, which is fantastic for keeping the kids quiet on any length of trip. I love the Envoy myself, and it certainly impressed the staff of Motor Trend magazine, not just because of its high technology, not just because it's great performing and can tow a big trailer, but because it delivers all that for an outstanding value. At Motor Trend, we never forget that you vote with your hard-earned dollars when you go to the showroom, and the value of this GMC Envoy is tremendous.
Safety? Got you covered. The Envoy is equipped with dual-stage front and dual-side impact airbags. Beyond the belts and bags is a standard next-generation OnStar system. How about never coming back to a dead battery? If the interior or exterior lights are left on, the computer automatically shuts them down after 20 minutes. Sport utility buyers want and need cargo space. The standard wheelbase Envoy offers a maximum 80.1 cubic feet of cargo capacity. With the second row seats folded, drop the second and third rows in the XL, and you can pack in a cavernous 100.2 cubic feet of stuff. Our carefully weighed call is that no other new or substantially upgraded sport utility vehicle addresses our criteria and testing as effectively as does the new GMC Envoy. It offers solid powertrain performance, good off-road agility and ability, worthy load and tow capacity, on-highway chassis quiet and smoothness, pleasing handling, high feature content, a livable interior, a premium design image, and value. We're pleased to present the GMC Envoy with Motor Trend's 2002 Sport Utility of the Year Award.
Stay with us. Motor Trend Television will be right back.
Congratulations to everyone at GMC for creating the Envoy, a great new SUV that combines excellent performance and handling with a high level of creature comforts and sophistication, all for a very reasonable price. I guess that's why the editors of Motor Trend have named the Envoy our 2002 Sport Utility of the Year.
Congratulations, GMC. Well, that brings this edition of Motor Trend Television to a close.
To find out more about anything you saw on the show today, pick up the December issue of Motor Trend on newsstands now.
Or you can go to our website, motortrend.com. I'm Wendy Walsh.
I'm Steve Van Toon. We'll see you right here next time on Motor Trend Television on Speed Vision.
For more automotive information, log on to speedvision.com.
Well, that brings this edition of Motor Trend Television to a close.
Oops.
If you'd like to find out more, you can check out the magazine.
You could check out the magazine.
Okay.